Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, DG sir.
And Math, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my
Yes.
DJ.
Over to you, our Deputy District Learning Facilitator.
Good morning, my DJ. Good morning, fellow Rotarians.
Good morning.
I want to thank you all for your time this morning. It's quite early for a lot of us. My DJ, I especially thank you for the opportunity you have given to us to learn every month, first week of every month, and then some of the Rotarians have testified of how this has been helping them in their various clubs. So I want to thank especially the guest speakers. Out of the very little time you have for us today, they have been able to honor our invitation. Thank you. This month we are looking at the various things that the Rotary has been doing around the health. I think this month, the month of December, is the month of disease treatment and prevention. And today we have two notable Rotarians who are going to educate us. First, we're going to listen to PAG Chinedu Ebo to tell us how Rotary has been going about this health issues. And then we'll also listen to Professor Owolawi as it concerns our audible health. So please, Rotarians, my district governor, today is a special day. After here, we are going to celebrate with our families at the police college. So please, thank you for the little time. We're not going to take too much of your time. So I will invite my DG to welcome us specially to this special training. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, PAG Inshoabi, District Learning Facilitator, PDG Kolashodipo, the Deputy Inshoabi, our speakers, fellow Rotarians, guests, and friends. I welcome you to the number 6 of our monthly district learning, online learning for December. As said, this is very important area for educating Rotarians. And strictly because it is online, it is open to far, wide, and near. We used to have Rotarians join us from other districts at this call. So I welcome us to this important monthly training avenue for us to learn and online. And I want to thank again our facilitators for choosing to accept to participate at this early hour. It shows the love you have for Rotary, and we sincerely appreciate you. On this note, I want to officially call this gathering to order, and by the power vested in me as the District Governor for Rotary International District 9112, I hereby call the December monthly online learning training to order. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, my PDG. I would like to invite the first speaker, Past Assistant Governor Chinedu Ebo, to take us through 20 minutes with the topic disease prevention and treatment, Rotary intervention. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. I'm trying to share my screen. Just give me a second to ensure that I'm able to do that. the facilitators of this interface for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts and experiences on this area of our area of focus in Rotary, is disease prevention and treatment. Still trying to see whether I can share. Just give me a second. I will share my, I'm not sharing the right, okay. Just a moment.
Okay, or do you have it?
I'm coming, I'm sharing it now.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so here we are.
Good.
I don't know whether
Yeah.
we are all seeing
Yes,
my
yes,
screen.
it's clear.
Yeah, so I'll go to, okay. Thank you. So again, I want to thank the facilitators for giving me the opportunity to speak. And my focus today is just to look at Rotary interventions as it relates to disease prevention and treatment as an area of focus in Rotary. As it had been highlighted, December is a year when it's a time period that Rotary brings to fore the importance of disease prevention and treatment. So for better understanding of it, I had wanted just to position us to know what actually is the thinking of Rotary in this area of focus. What is it that they are talking about? Actually, the thoughts of Rotary is that our goal is to improve access to healthcare, particularly on the underserved communities, and to reduce the incidences and prevalence of major diseases. That's what our focus is. And so that determined actually what the interventions that we are doing all the time on this. So let me quickly let us understand that the focus for Rotary is to educate and equip communities to stop the spread of life-threatening diseases like polio, HIV and AIDS, and malaria. And we improve and expand access to low-cost and free healthcare in developing areas. So Rotary therefore outlined a number of reasons or goals that we achieved this month in making this a major thing for us. First, Rotary supports projects that aim to reduce the incidence of diseases such as malaria. They also support access to healthcare services, particularly in underserved communities. And we also support projects that will improve healthcare infrastructure, including the construction and equipping of healthcare facilities. And Rotary works with partners to support disease surveillance and monitoring systems and enabling early detections and response to disease outbreaks. And finally, we also promote health education and awareness. So those then actually determines how we intervene. And so I'm going to look at 5 ways of our intervention. And so I called it our how. How do we intervene? And so those hows can be summarized in these 5 areas. The first how is that we try to make an identity. We identified the issue as being important. And because we identified the issue as being important, we focus on it. So we created an area of focus for Rotary intervention. That is the first thing we did to ensure that we bring to fore the importance of health, since health is wealth to the world. Then we went ahead and designated a month as a month for disease prevention and treatment, December. And this month, we encourage ourselves to do a lot of awareness campaign. So that is the first how of our intervention. The second how of intervention is that we bring funding to this. It is interesting that on a regular basis, our Rotary Foundation earmarks huge funds for all kinds of activities on that area of our intervention, the intervention of our medical issues. So we have funds that we get through our global grants or our district grants, polio grants. All kinds of funds are available. And this is our way of showing that we must put our money where our thinking is. So the fourth intervention of how we intervene is that we take action. We do things. Rotary does things. And I have quickly outlined some of the things we have done, even here in our, both when we were District 9110 and 9112. If you remember the Otta mission, the past district governor, Omotunde Lawson, went town and ensured that over 5,000 people through the partnership with the Association of Nigerian Physicians in America, we are reached. We intervened in that area. This year, our own district governor is working also with the Association of Nigerian Physicians in America to do a mission here in April in 2025. And that will be a very big mission also. And we have several other interventions that had happened in the year of the Shoga, the clip lift. We remember the cervical cancer intervention we did during PDG Day. We talked about what Bola was able to do, our district governor, with the Prostate Cancer Center. So a lot of intervention on those areas because we are taking action. We designated monies to do this. And that is what we do always. I would like us just to pause for a second and share some of the things we do with the Rotary program of scale so that we can position our level of intervention that Rotary does.
As Rotarians, when we work together to meet global needs and challenges with evidence-based solutions, we embody what it means to be a part of the 1.4 million strong Rotary community. Rotary's 2022 Programs of Scale awardee, Together for Healthy Families in Nigeria, works to support healthy outcomes for women and children in a country where maternal and infant mortality rates are among the highest in the world. Programs of Scale demonstrate Rotary's power to make positive change by supporting member-led initiatives to scale proven programs that are locally relevant, measurable, and sustainable. Led by the Rotary Action Group for Reproductive, Maternal, and Child Health, this partnership with Rotary districts in Germany and Nigeria, the Nigerian Ministry of Health, and other partners builds on 20 years of learning together. The goal is bold. Over the 3-year program, our members want to reduce mother and newborn deaths in program target areas by 25%. We want to see families seeking health services in safe environments with skilled healthcare professionals that are ready to serve women and children with dignity. And we are eager to share what we learn. Why? Because Rotary wants healthy families that thrive in Nigeria, and we're people of action. As Rotarians.
So our third how is that in making a difference, we encourage ourselves to form what we call the Rotary Action Groups. And as you can see, I'm wearing the cap of what Rotary does, the Rotary Family Health Days, and the End Polio now, and we have all kinds of MOUs and partnerships. We have the Rotarians Against Malaria. This is our way of intervening in a continuing basis in highlighting the issues of health and how we can prevent and also how we can treat. So that is our our fourth how. And our fifth how is in that we're in creating this lasting impact. We are forming partnership, we are seeking collaborations, and we are forming Rotary Community Corps. It's important to know that in our district, we are having a partnership with the Lagos State Primary Health Care Board. We are having a partnership with the Ministry of Health. We are having partnership and MOU with the Association of Nigerian Physicians in America. We have partnerships with the World Health Organization, UNICEF, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and the Centers for Disease and Control, and all forms of local authorities in both our local governments, and continually our clubs every month, every day, do a lot of programs, either through sourcing funds through our global grant or through the district grant, or using their own resources to do things in this area of focus. So just for quick recap, we did say that we look at 3 areas. We identify position as very important, and so we go ahead and intervene. Then in our second thinking, we put our money to it. And in our third thinking, we take action by designating programs on disease prevention and treatment. And,
as Rotarians.
And finally, we also create action groups and fellowships that will help us in intervening. And lastly, we form partnerships, seeking collaborations, and forming Rotary Community Corps to make this happen. This is how Rotary have intervened. And recently, we are also going to intervene on malaria vaccine available, and we are supporting that. Malaria is a big thing to us, and Rotary is poised to ensure that we eliminate malaria in the world. Our vision is to make this world a healthier world. And as people of action, we are taking action in so. So again, this month, we are calling on all of us to think on how we can treat diseases, how we can prevent diseases, how we can bring succor and new life to our community. And that is what we do. As a Rotary, we are people of action. Thank you so much for an opportunity to speak. I yield the microphone. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, PAG Chinedu Ebo, for that detailed update and expositions for us as Rotarians on what we love doing best, especially in the area of focus called disease prevention and treatment. I don't know whether PAG, we should be still there.
I'm here, sir.
Okay, over to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Please, I know that some of us have so many questions to ask. We'll keep that aside till after the next speaker has spoken. So please, at this time, we want to invite Rotarian Professor Dele Owolawi to please present your paper. The topic again is your hearing health. Many of us have problems in this area. Some of us we know, some of us we don't know. So, sir, the floor is yours. From Owolawi.
Thank you very much. My irresistible DG, CDG, PAG, fellow Rotarians, friends and guests. PDG Chodiko, please can you share my slides?
Okay. Okay, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'm not the host. I want you to make me the host back.
Oh, can you share it for him?
Hello,
Just
sir.
a minute.
Can you make me the host back?
Sorry?
Oh, PhD Chinedu, please make Uge host again. Thank you.
Oh, okay. PhD Chinedu, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm trying to
Okay, return. Yeah, okay.
return. Yeah, suspend participant activities.
Please,
How,
fellow Rotarians, will take questions at the end of this second presentation. Thank you.
okay. Have you taken this in? Do you have it now?
I've not.
Hide profile pictures. I'm trying to. I
So
don't
you
know
can
where.
click on
It's
part
not
one.
working on my it's not
Rotary
working on my
9112.
laptop,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Click on Rotary 9110.
Yes,
Yeah.
9112. Then you can make me the host. You can click
Okay.
on Rotary
Okay.
9112.
Okay. I've done that. I've
All
done
right.
that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So share the slides now. No. Do you? Okay. Do you have the slides?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Dele Owolawi, Rotarian Dele Owolawi, and I chose this topic specifically to make us aware of the pollution that is affecting us in the society, particularly in our urban cities. I hope you can hear all here. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I chose noise pollution to direct our attention to the cacophony of noise that is going on around us that is also affecting our health directly or indirectly. And let me thank CAG Chinedu for saying our mission in Rotary is to make this world a healthier world. If we want to make this world a healthier world, we need to look at the etiologies or the causes of what makes us to become unhealthy. So it is in this light that I have chosen noise pollution, which is a silent killer of our time. It's a silent killer of our time. Now, let us begin by defining what noise is. According to literature or textbooks definition, noise is simply an unwanted sound. Noise, in a very simple way, is defined as an unwanted sound. But in reality, it can be both wanted and unwanted from my own perspective and understanding. Yes, we all enjoy music. We may make it loud. In most cases, it's always very loud. We enjoyed during the World Cup celebration in South Africa, the Vuvuzela, which of course, people in my specialty did a study on and found out that is very much injurious, not only to the auditory system, but also the cardiovascular system. We all attend Owambe parties. whether in the urban city or in the rural areas, we love partying, and we do not look into the deleterious effect of all these things. Praise worship in churches with loud speakers, auto race like Formula One sports, mobile phones, particularly our teenagers who have a habit of listening to loud. Hello? Our teenagers who have a habit of listening to very loud music on their mobile phones, MP3, iPod music, and of course, I have seen in a couple of homes that the TV volumes is always higher in terms of decibel than expected. And this is equally harmful to our health, not only auditory health, but also generally our health. Now, we can classify noise into different stages or different areas. We have occupational noise, industries like aviation industry, those people who work in the aviation industry without protection. On a number of occasions, I've observed that people who work in the tarmac hardly wear what we call ear plugs or ear muffs to protect their auditory system. In manufacturing industries, artisans like welders, alumaco workers, mechanics, grinding mills, firearms in the military or in the police force, in the customs, and so on, they all bear firearms and they have a problem of not protecting themselves from noise. Now we also have recreational noise, which is social events that we attend, club events that we attend, environmental noise like automobile. We all know that Lagos is a very, very noisy city with honking left, right, and center. Somebody visited Japan, was worried whether their automobiles have horns or not, because they do not press on their horns unless it is an emergency. It is not necessary to blare the horn indiscriminately. And of course, one thing that has also come to stay with us is the generators. As I'm talking, my generator is on because there's no NEPA. And we tend to expose ourselves to this nasty noise every now and then. Now, religious noise, worship centers, we all know that recently, or a couple of years now, Lagos State government has been sealing up some religious houses for noise pollution. And this is something we need to look into. People go there to find spirituality, to find God, but somehow they come back home with something else that has negatively impacted their health. So do people get used to noise? This is the question we must ask ourselves. I once went to Kaduna, Kachia in particular, to examine the military officers who were doing some exercise there. And when we spoke about noise, all of them said, oh, come on, forget about that. We are used to it. We are already used to it. Do people get used or accustomed to noise? The reason for thinking so is noise is like a thief that comes unannounced in the middle of the night. I will explain this. Why is it like a thief that comes unannounced in the middle of the night? As we go along, I will explain. It is gradual and the effect is not felt until later years of one's life. Noise exposure, noise damage on our health, our cardiovascular health, our auditory health, our mental health is not felt until after such a very long time. I will explain that with time. People also say God will protect us from noise deafness. It's not my portion in Jesus' name. Is that true? Well, the simple answer is give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Human physiology is about body function. Hence, it is incumbent on us to take proper care and insulate it from harm. God doesn't support abuse of any organ of the body. It's a temple that must be preserved and cared for. Now, types of noise-induced hearing loss. We have what we call barotrauma. This is, from the name, is a trauma. It happens suddenly and it is not expected. This is a sudden noise with a very high decibel impact. Like bomb blast is a barotrauma. Accident that is not expected is a barotrauma. And this is capable of instant damage to different parts of our auditory system. The eardrum, which we call tympanic membrane medically, can be torn or it can be ruptured by a barotrauma. There are 3 small bones in the middle ear. These are the smallest bones in the human body. They are called ossicles. There are 3. These 3 bones can be shattered and damaged by trauma, by barotrauma. Then in the cochlea is in the inner ear. This is where the seat of hearing is located, which we call the organ of Corti. There are small, tiny ear cells in this cochlea, and those ear cells can also be damaged. And when the ear cells are damaged, of course, they are not replaceable. They don't grow back in human beings. It's only in reptiles like snakes and lizards that we found that it grows back, but in humans, it doesn't. And that brings about a permanent hearing loss. Then we have what we call temporary threshold shift. This happens when an individual is exposed to high intensity noise for longer than expected period. But the auditory system is so resilient that there's a recovery after about 18 to 48 hours. We recover. That's why when we are exposed to high level noise at parties, by the time we wake up the following day, we've regained our auditory status so that the ability to hear returns. But if this becomes a consistent issue, so there are some people, they can't do without going to parties every weekend. And this leads to what we call permanent threshold shift. Cumulative exposure for years ultimately obliterates the resilience of the ear cells, and a permanent loss is incurred. An overdose of noise. At all levels of our daily existence, there's noise. Even the time God has created or endowed us with to stop the noise, which is nighttime, we still turn on our generating set. There are many people who cannot sleep without air conditioning or fan and what have you. So we are compelled to turn on our generators, which has a high level of pollution, auditory pollution, and of course, it also causes other problems that are health related. The roads are noisy, honking of horns by automobiles, Okadas, TV sets at homes, etc. There's a cacophony of noise everywhere. I did a study on Okada riders a couple of years ago, and I found out that most of the Okadas generate a noise level of what we call 90 decibel and above, 90, 100, 110, and 120 decibels, depending on the engine of the automobile. And we found out that this has a lot of effect on their health. And that's why some of them do have accidents. They don't think properly because ability to reason has been affected one way or the other. Now, World Health Organization in 2018 states that 8.5 million of Nigerians suffer from disabling hearing loss. I stand to dispute that figure because it seems not.
Since we've lost you.
The figure may be much higher. Why? It may be much higher because of cross weekends that we all go, we all attend. We enjoy the parties, no doubt about that. But at the same time, we have negative effect. anytime I get invited to one of those parties, as a specialist in this field, I go along with my earplugs, particularly if you are unfortunate to be seated next to a loudspeaker. The loudspeaker can cause a very, very serious damage to the auditory system. I don't know how many of us watched the video of a lady who had a problem because she sat very close to a loudspeaker and she lost her hearing completely. She had to go for what we call cochlear implantation. Now she's relocated so it can be properly managed. The night vigils accompanied by loud noise, our Sunday noisy services, early morning blaring of loudspeakers, prayers for people who live next to a mosque. I'm sure they will bear testimony to what I'm saying. Record sellers at the corner of the street, vendors on the street and motor parks, city transport conductors, indiscriminate blaring of sirens. Everybody now has siren, including civilians, and we go about blaring the siren as no man's business. These are some of the issues that we are contending with in our urban cities in particular. So all this unconsciously may endanger not only the auditory system, but our health in general. Now, what are the consequences of exposure to noise? I've been aware of the consequent effects of exposure to high noise level. Our health degenerates and lifespan takes a nosedive. Exposure to high intensity noise level increases anxiety, aggression. Yes, we see this and we begin to wonder, why are these downfall drivers behaving like mental people, insane people? Yes, noise, high level of noise. Reasoning capacity is eroded, calmness is eroded, no feeling for others because of the exposure to high noise level and the stress level they are going through. So it negatively impacts their decision making. You just see them, they just enter the road or they just change lane indiscriminately without any consideration for others. Because it's part of what noise exposure has caused. Insomnia, lack of sleep. People who live around the airport area will bear testimony and testify to what I'm saying. They do not have sound sleep, and without sound sleep, we have health challenges. Yeah, we also carried out a study in Ibadan with some colleagues in the University of Ibadan. We interviewed some taxi people, and they said, well, they don't know whether it's noise, whether it's stress, but they found out that they lost their libido after the day's job. When they get back home, they are so exhausted, they cannot perform their usual duty that they are expected to perform. So noise on its own adds to physical exhaustion. It has also been reported that cardiovascular and hypertensive effect of noise exposure. This is widely reported in a lot of clinical literature and research work. Research findings. Donaldson and Wilson in 1976 found a correlation in their study between excessive noise exposure and aggression. Aggression is a mental issue, and that is very common with our downfall conductors and drivers in Lagos in particular. In 1995, Daily Mirror newspaper of the United Kingdom reported in the previous 6 years, 16 people or more were murdered or committed suicide as a result of exposure to chronic noise. Noise generates what we call tinnitus. I will explain that. Several studies have established a relationship between exposure to high intensity noise and sleep deprivation, blood pressure, and digestion problems. So irritation, nervousness, increased stress, sleep disturbance, increased blood pressure are all effects of noise pollution. Studies have also linked noise with negative impact on developing fetus. a child who is yet to be born can also acquire noise-induced hearing loss in the womb. So this is a very serious issue that we need to put our attention to. Other derivatives of uncontrolled noise exposure are nervousness, tension, sore throat, hoarseness, fatigue, metabolic stress, tinnitus. Tinnitus is ringing in the ear. That is the precursor to noise-induced hearing loss. Sometimes it comes and goes. It comes and goes. Just ringing sensation, which some people have turned to be, oh, maybe they have tumor or maybe in the brain or something like that. And some people have actually taken their own life because they could not explain why they are having this noise in their auditory system or in their head. Vertigo or dizziness is another issue that happens in head, and of course, hearing loss. Now, this is the reason why I said noise is like a thief that comes in the night. You can see this graph that shows something like a V curve. V curve happens, that is the area of the cochlea where it starts from. It's around 4,000 hertz, or what we call cycles per second. And that area is not involved in speech understanding as such. So it's a gradual process, it's insidious. We do not realize that a damage is being done. So gradually, after a couple of years or months, it used to erode in the area of 500 to 1,000 to 2,000, which is a speech understanding area. And that is the time we start saying, pardon, pardon. Yeah, that's the area we start saying, pardon. Can you repeat yourself? I can't hear you properly. And that's the period we start increasing the volume of our TV to the detriment of people around us. When people around us are saying, this TV is too loud, I say, no, it's not too loud. It's normal, because of the fact that noise-induced hearing loss has eroded beyond the 4,000 hertz that we spoke about, and is actually tending towards the other areas that are critical to understanding of speech. You can see the second graph. The second graph, the graph has been going down and getting to a worse or moderate area of classification. Now, physiologic effect. Physiologic effect, permissible noise level. The National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health stipulates as follows. A noise level of, you can download what we call a sound level meter from the Google Playhouse, so that wherever you are, you can measure the noise level, whether in church or in a party or wherever. You can actually measure to see whether it exceeds 85 decibel. If it exceeds 85 decibel, please, your exposure limit should not be more than 8 hours. Within 8 hours, you are still safe. But anything beyond 8 hours, you are doing a damage to your auditory system and the cardiovascular system and the mental system in the room. 92 decibels, 6 hours, 95, and so on and so forth. If the noise level peaks at 115 decibels, please do not stay within that environment for more than 15 minutes. It's risky to stay beyond 15 minutes. Now, what is the solution to noise-induced hearing loss? Turn down the noise, turn down the noise, turn down the noise. We are not saying don't listen to music, don't participate in church activity, don't be exposed to noise, but please turn it down to a bearable level. Use earplugs if you are constantly exposed to noise and you cannot avoid it. Use earplugs, ear defenders, or ear muffs. Check your hearing regularly to ascertain there's no hidden damage. And to NEPA, or whatever they are called, whether it's Genku or whatever, please let there be light. When there is light, there is noiseless level. Noiseless Lagos policy. This is where I want to admonish that we Rotarians should key into the Noiseless Lagos policy, of which I have been privileged to participate on a number of times. Lagos Noiseless policy is very, very important. And somehow they are achieving their goal by making sure that loudspeakers are no longer used at motor parks to call Ibadan, 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 and what have you. So please, we need to key into that policy and support the Lagos State government. So constant enlightenment program is good for the country, and it will save us from this creepy silent killer called noise. As I've said, noise is a silent killer. We must protect ourselves from harm's way. Live life and live it to the full. Save your hearing and save your health. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity given to me. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mas. Thank you, fellow Rotarians. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir. My PDG schedule for please can take it from here.
Thank you so much. Thank you, our facilitators and speakers, PAG Chinedu Ebo of the Rotary Club of Victoria Land East, and of course, our dear Professor, Rotarian Professor Dele Owolabi, Professor for Theology of the Rotary Club of Bagada. So the floor is open now for questions, comments, contributions on the two areas that we have covered today, talking about disease prevention and treatment, Rotary interventions, and of course, our hearing health, also as ably covered and delivered by Professor Owolabi. So please indicate by show of hands. Unmute and ask your question or comments. Questions, comments? It appears we all
My PDG, I think
okay.
PhD Sholu on the call. PhD Sholu, please go ahead and ask your question.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, my PDG, our guest speakers. I want to appreciate the quality of the lectures given today, the two, from PhD Chinedu Ebo and also our Prof. But my question is going to Prof, that do we have any constitutional provision, I mean, talking about the loss of the land, that one can use to seek redress where you are having noise pollution within your environment? You see, the tendency is there that we don't even know where to go and complain. So people may even be taking you as a jester. You know, they are playing music, they are selling their products, and they are trying to advertise to you the type of music they have. They turn it on blaring. So where do we go from there? Do we have a constitutional provision that protects us from this, or which office do we need to, go and complain when we have this type of issues? Thank you.
Thank you very much, PAG Solu. Yes, Lagos State government has a law in place, and I'm very convinced. I know that LASEPA has been prosecuting some people, and they've been sealing up some churches in particular in certain areas. So you can go on the website of LASEPA and lodge a complaint. I'm very sure that they will attend to it. Some people have been prosecuted, actually. I'm very much aware of that. So there's an avenue by which we can lodge our complaint. If there's a noise, they will first and foremost come around to investigate, to make sure that the claim is genuine. Then they will issue a warning to the place. And if they still persist, LASEPA will come, seal up the place, and prosecute them. There's a law against noise pollution in Lagos State. I don't know about national, but in Lagos State, there's a law against noise pollution. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. We'll call the next person, Past Assistant Governor Victoria. Please go ahead with your question, ma'am.
My PDG, Past Assistant, PDG Kola Shodipo, and all the Past Assistant Governors. Good morning.
Morning.
I really appreciate today's facilitation, especially the one on the air health, because there are lots of information that he has told us this morning, even as a medical personnel, that I've forgotten. And I think I'm guilty of putting my television up or anything I'm using, because I found out that if it's not high enough, I may be complaining. Other people will say, oh, it's okay. And I will say, no, let's put it up a little bit. So it's a sign of caution to me now that I have to check on that. And having said that, and my concern is those that use hearing aids. The people that use hearing aids, I know there are different types of reasons why they use them, but then there are lots of them in the country now that cannot afford to get these hearing aids. And I know that they should, maybe there is a facility in place that gives hearing aids free in Lagos State, or they assist them in getting cheap hearing aids. Because I remember that there was a program in the School of the Blind one time I attended, and hearing aids was given to some of them that have ear defects. But we do have people in the community that also, they've been asking me, does Rotary sponsor hearing aids and all that? And I can't give them a specific answer. But my house girl, one of our house girls in the family, has benefited. So I can't remember where it was Prof that helped assisted us out, and we paid some meager amount of money, and she was supported. But there are lots of them. So what are we doing? What is Lagos State doing to go to the motor parks and or Rotary, go to parks, go to places and have the way we do health, the family health day? Do we plan to include hearing, as one of the benefits of the family of Rotary Health Day? If Prof can arrange that, some clubs can sponsor, and we look at Ajah bus stop, Yaba bus stop, and all that, and get some people tested. Thank you.
Okay,
thank you very much. Go on, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, PAG Victoria. Yes, I think Rotary has done a lot, but we need to do more in terms of provision of hearing aids. I know during the tenure of PDG Lawson, we gave hearing aids to a couple of children in Wesley School for the hearing impaired. But we didn't do a follow-up as such. There are still a number of them that requires hearing aids. But I must be very frank, hearing aids are very expensive. Good quality hearing aids are very expensive. We are talking in terms of millions. I know MTN a couple of years ago gave out some free hearing aid as a corporate social responsibility of the company. And I also know that President Olusegun Obasanjo also tries to distribute hearing aid. to people on a yearly basis. It moves from state to state. I think January or February, they will get that done in Lagos State. There's also an NGO sponsored by the junior sister of PDG, Dele Balogun. I'm also a member of the BOT of the NGO. They also give out free hearing aids, but it's not something that is very consistent because it's very expensive. It's not affordable. Even the batteries, to change the batteries from time to time is a big problem. So we need to do more. We need to focus. Yes, visual. I'm not saying this to to despise my mentor, Rotarian Giwa, but at the same time, visual has received a lot of attention, but auditory has received little or no attention. Why? Because it's a hidden disability. It does not instantly, evoke our sympathy. The blindness does. When somebody does not see, you look at the person and say, oh my God, look at this very young, handsome guy or this beautiful lady with visual impairment. But when somebody beautiful has a hearing problem, you don't know. You can't see it, until you start talking to the person and he doesn't, even when he doesn't hear you, you think he's arrogant or she's stubborn. That many parents have done a lot of damage to their kids because the child cannot hear, but they always assume that the child is stubborn. The child doesn't respond when you call him. He doesn't do things the right way, and they start slapping the child until they now come and see that the child has a hearing problem. So it's a hidden disability that we do not see, and that is why we do not seem to give too much attention. But of course, I know RC Bagada does hearing screening every year at DISCOM, and we continue with that. We do it free of charge, and any Rotarian that comes to our clinic in Ikeja, we see the person free of charge, although we don't give hearing aid free of charge. Yes. But we make sure that that spirit of humanitarianism, of service is in us, and we help each other one way or the other. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Thank you
Yes,
very
thank you.
much.
Yes, thank you, Prof. You did.
If I may also add, just before you continue, just if I might add, that's where our collaborations and relationships come in. Last year, the Rotary Club of Admiralty had a challenge with somebody who has a hearing aid problem. I was in New York attending the scientific conference of AMPA, the Association of Nigerian Physicians in America. And I quickly mentioned it to some of them, and they gave me some hearing aid material that was required at that time. And so if we can continue to build a relationship and request, for instance, in a MOU with AMPA, and request, we can really expand our activities. I think that we can explore. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PhD Chinito. I will take one more question from PhD Jane Mberia. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And thank you to the great speakers, PhD Chinedu and Professor Dele. I think PhD Victoria touched on a bit of my question. I was going to have a suggestion because maybe this has to do with classification. Whenever we are trying to think of projects to do, most of us really never think about the hearing issue. And what I was going to recommend is an awareness campaign, especially this festive season. We know what happens, loud music everywhere. And I've realized this hearing issue is becoming common. Every time you speak to somebody, especially to us who are soft-spoken, people keep asking you, pardon, pardon. So maybe a lot of people are not even aware they have an issue. And that's why I think a campaign would really help people to go for screening and testing, and then awareness so that the public is aware about the damage they're doing to themselves in terms of noise and all these others. And I can see clearly that connection, especially between the physical and the mental illness. And the question now I was going to add at the end, does age matter? Because as you grow old, I notice that older people have an issue hearing, so not necessarily subjected to the noise hazards, but just normal aging thing of which we can adjoin in the disease prevention from our two speakers today and treatment, and bring in the hearing issues around it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, PhD Mberia. The last
Yes.
question,
Can I
Dr.
answer
Basira
that
Giwa.
question, please?
Oh, okay, go ahead,
Can
sir.
I
Sorry.
quickly answer that question? Yeah, thank you
Go
very
ahead,
much.
sir.
Yes, there's what we call age-related hearing loss. Medically, we call it presbycusis. By the age of 40, 45, if you are a smoker, if you drink a lot alcohol, if you are on antihypertensive medications, if you are on maybe oncology medications like cisplatin, carboplatin, and so on, you need to start checking your hearing. But if you are not, and you live your life peacefully, and so you are not exposed to too much noise, and so by age 60, you start losing your hearing. By age 60, by the time you get to 70, 75, 80, you've lost a minimum of about 30, 40% of your hearing. So you need to check regularly, and of course, we need to do whatever is required to be done professionally. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The last question that we'll take today is from Dr. Basirat Giwa. Please, ma'am, go ahead with your question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PhD Shoabi. Good morning, everybody, my PDGs, facilitators, and fellow Rotarians. Basirat Giwa, the eye doctor. And thank you very much to Professor Olawi about the hearing lecture and the fact that the hearing defects are not as noticeable as the visual defects. And that's number one. In response to that is the next global grant, a very huge global grant application that we have just concluded writing. Involves basically preschool screening of children in all primary schools in Lagos and Ogun states. Preschool visual screening and hearing. As a matter of fact, our international partners were wondering what is wrong, what's our business with the hearing? But it's simply because, from all Prof had explained, the children with hearing defects are the ones that suffer most. And even the visual ones too, by the time the intervention comes, most of the time we are not able to get 100% recovery. And that's where we are trying to institutionalize screening these kids before primary school, as it's done in other countries. It's there in our statute books. Those people in private practice will confirm that when children are going to a lot of these private schools, even federal government colleges, they will just shove the form into your hand to tick. Hearing, you reading, you just tick, tick, tick. As against the government ensuring that each child is examined properly before they are enrolled. That way we'll be able to catch them early and we'll get better results in the intervention process. The second part is what we need to do as Rotarians ourselves. Like they say, charity begins at home. I give example of a typical outing at the district office. Evening with the DG. If one is not careful, you may end up going home that evening with some percentage hearing loss from the noise of the speakers. And I will be kind, it's not even as bad as what we experience at all our parties in Lagos. Several times, some of us will get up to go and tell the DJ, please bring down the volume. Besides going to make it part of disease prevention project and sensitizing the public, there's a lot we can do at Rotarians to ensure wherever we are, we can at least encourage or educate them. Please bring down the volume. It's not how loud the music that makes it enjoyable. I've found myself coming out of a party, and at the end of the day, I end up with upper respiratory tract infection. That's because the vibration from the speakers have blown a lot of things within my upper respiratory tract into the tract, and I've lost my voice the next day. Even because you cannot converse conveniently with the person next door to you, you find yourself shouting. And you've discovered, just notice around that we tend to shout when we are talking to ourselves. And I keep wondering, where is that coming from? Who knows? Possibly because of so much noise around us. So I thank Professor Wolawi that we need to, first of all, start from within, create this awareness, ensure that we can control the DJ. I'm always doing that at parties. I go to the DJ. Never mind that you ask him, he will bring down the volume. By the time you get back to your seat, he will raise the volume again. But we should never get tired. And finally, I want to appeal to the district leaders and senior Rotarians on this platform. Please encourage our Rotarians to take advantage of forum like this. Is what is it called? It's not particularly encouraging that a gathering of over, let me be conservative, 2,000 people on a Saturday morning. A lot of social events are yet to take off. The earliest will be possibly 10 a.m. And to imagine that we have only 27 participants. Let's continue to encourage our people to engage in it because knowledge is power. I thank you very much and I wish everyone a pleasant weekend. And in any case, compliments of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma. My PDG, Bola Sodipo, please.
Yes, thank you so much, PAG Shoabi. Once again, I want to thank all the contributors, those that asked questions and those that made some very, very apt comments just to enrich what we are doing today. I thank you all and thank all fellow Rotarians. Certainly, we need to encourage our fellow Rotarians more to attend. I'm sure we try to publicize, but just like Rotarian Basira Giwas mentioned, the more knowledge we acquire, the better for us as individuals. And of course, as Rotarians that impact knowledge and do impactful projects in our various communities. I'm not sure whether our district governor is still online. DG, because he has some other engagements.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Your closing words, sir.
Well, okay. Thank you very much, the DLF, the Deputy DLF. Our esteemed facilitator, Prof, you are recognized. PAG, Chinedu Ebo, you are recognized. Chinedu PAG Jane, you are recognized. All participants, I want to sincerely thank you for coming on this call to educate us about disease prevention and control. The topics were very germane. I'm particularly happy with the one on the hearing loss. I want to sincerely thank you for joining us and for enlightening us on this call. I also want to thank the training facilitation team, the learning facilitation team for their hard work that they have displayed. If you are hearing any background noise, we are at the police college ground for the novelty football match between the DG, District Governor-elect Lanre Adedoye team, and District Governor nominee Laye Abidoye team. The match is ongoing, so I have to be here to do a ceremonial kickoff and give the trophy when the match is ended. Today is our family of Rotary Day. I enjoy us to join us at the Police College ground. Come and share in the fun. Thank you and have a blessed Saturday. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much, our district governor. We thank you for allowing us to do this morning. And on that note, I want to thank everybody. I wish you a pleasant weekend and have fun, but in moderation. And see you all at Family of Rotary Grand later this morning. The next in the series will come up in January. And before that, I want to wish each and every one of us a happy Christmas in advance and wish us a pleasant and prosperous New Year 2025 in a few days' time. Thank you, and God bless us all. Bye.
Thank you.
Organic.
Thank you all.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Compliments.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good morning, all.
My
Bye.
PhD. Good
Yes,
morning,
sir.
oh.
Morning.
Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Doyin.
Bye-bye.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. See you
Thank
later
you
in
for
the
coming.
day.
Bye.
Yeah.
See you.
Yes, remain blessed.
Thank you, sir.
You too.
My PhD. You
Yes, sir.
joined us. Thank you so much,
I
sir.
did. God bless.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate, sir. God bless you, sir.
God bless.
Yes.
What is happening?